Pictures of you in my head. Why won't they go? Pictures of you in my head. Why won't they go? Pictures of you in my head.
What's up, everybody? Christopher here, back with another video. You saw the title and you saw the intro sequence, so you know what this video is about. Yes, I'm about to pit head-to-head two types of donuts, some American flavors and some German flavors. Now, since I don't eat donuts, I had no reason to dive into German donuts, but for this comparison, we're gonna try some. Now, I know donuts are some people's favorites, so I'll try not to be too critical, but hey, it's just a test. And as I say, a very uncomprehensive test. It's basically just an excuse to eat a donut. Now, since I've only had a donut in two separate countries and I only have access to those two, for this, we're just gonna stick to the ones that are found in Germany and ones that are found in the US. And so first we're gonna find out what the US had to offer. Well, just let me show you. Now, it's a good thing that there's a Dunkin' Donuts in Germany, because that is going to be the closest I can get to an American version of a donut as I think I'm going to get. I hit up this place in one of the malls that's near here, and they had a decent variety of donuts. I was kind of impressed. They did have the overboard donuts, like the smiley faces and the overly frosted and overly sprinkled donuts. Things that I kind of shy away from and stay away from when they're normal. But they had some kind of plain donuts too. Now, I've always been kind of partial to lemon. So straight away, I was looking for some kind of lemon variety of something. Not just yellow frosting, but actual lemon flavored frosting. And what do you know? I found them. Here they are right here. So I got one lemon frosted. I ended up getting one of the maple frosted. And I wanted to get three, but I couldn't decide what the last one should be. I definitely didn't want to get no smiley face or nothing goofy like that. So I just went with one of their specials. I couldn't pronounce it. You can see it right here. Whatever that word is, that's what I got. And naturally, that was one of the smaller Dunkins that I'd been to. Naturally, it's Germany. So options were not as plentiful as what I was used to, but we got the goods. Let's go. Here I am on a US installation where they actually sell, yep, you guessed it, Krispy Kreme. Unfortunately, though, there is no Krispy Kreme franchise in Germany, nor is there one on the US installations that I have access to here in Germany. So the closest I could possibly get were these options right here. Let's hope these prepackaged joints are just as good. Here we are with some overly frosted pink ones. As you can see, I had a huge variety of donuts to choose from. And over on this side were like the smaller servings where they have crullers and chocolate donuts for like single servings. This box definitely was not going to be it. There's just too many things in it that I would not eat. I thought about going with crullers. I've always liked crullers, but they just looked a little too sweet. Again, these raspberry crullers, too sweet. This box was going to be it, but 4 of them were filled with stuff, and I don't like donuts that are stuffed with pudding and different kind of creams and stuff like that. Just not for me. And so, finally, I settled on a 6-pack of regular glazed donuts. And since Germany doesn't have places that are exclusive to donut making, my 2 choices for German-based donuts had to be grocery store-bought donuts, which I'm about to show you in a second, and a bakery that's near my house that I had to choose from. So those are going to be the 2 places that I got the German-based donut from. So I got my Dunkin' Donuts, I got my Krispy Kremes. It's time to head to a German shop. Let's see what the Germans have to offer. Here I found actual Oreo donuts. That's just like too much, way too much. So out of all these donuts, I think these were good enough. Options are definitely limited, so I guess I'm gonna have to go with these. So just let me show you some of the rest of the variety here. As you can see, they got like pink with white sprinkles, some regular cake donuts, the Oreo ones I just mentioned, other ones with chocolate frosting on them, and here's some more sugar-covered ones. And I'm not usually a fan of chocolate-covered stuff either, but here we go, whatever. Let's just do the dang thing. And on to my last stop, which, as I mentioned, happens to be a bakery that's near where I live. I knew they sold donuts, so it was no problem for me to stop by here on my way home and grab one of these just regular white frosted ones. This little one, please, ma'am. Yes, thank you. Now that I had all these sweet treat oily cakes back at the house, it was time to see if I could find some differences in these donuts. after all that, we are finally here. I have 4 contestants from 4 different places. 2 of these have their origin here in Germany locally, the other 2 from the US. So to recap, I picked up a piece from a Dunkin donut shop. That's this lemon flavored one that I decided to go with. I'm a little biased because I like lemon, but we're definitely gonna try that one. I picked up one from a Krispy Kreme, which is another US based shop. I picked up one from a German bakery. And I picked up one from a German grocer. Obviously, I'm not the authority on what does or doesn't taste good to you. This is a personal test of what I think of these, okay? So I'm just gonna try a small bite of them and I'm gonna go off just that bite. My daughters will eat the rest. 3 categories though that I'm gonna judge these things off of basically. The first one I'm gonna judge it by is presentation. The second is going to be texture or consistency, whichever one. And the third is gonna be the actual taste. There's not going to be any rate scales or anything like that. Each category is just going to be a yes or a no. Very simple. And I guess with that, let's get down to it. Hold up. You didn't think I was going to do this without coffee, did you? For shame. So first off, I'm going to try the store-bought German donut. Presentation. I think it looks nice. It's appealing when it's sitting on the shelf and it makes you want to eat it. There's nothing more to that. So for presentation, it gets a yay. Let's get into it. Yes, I'm using a fork and knife. There's no need for too much of this. All I need is a bite. So I think that has the texture that I like. I like a softer, spongy type cake or bread. I like very soft and satisfying to chew. So for texture and consistency, I give that one a yay as well. Lastly, taste. The actual donut itself seems like it's taken the role of just like a light cake. Meanwhile, the not so sweet chocolate on top adds just enough to trick your mouth into thinking you're getting some kind of dessert. 3 yays for that one, not bad. Let's move on to the next one. We're gonna try this US based Krispy Kreme donut. First, presentation. Now, that's just a normal glazed donut, so I don't know if this is fair. Maybe if I would have just gotten 4 glazed donuts, I wouldn't have to do this category. But unfortunately, I did grab a glaze, so I'm gonna judge it accordingly. I mean, if I look at the other 3, the presentations are different, so I gotta give this presentation a nay. Let's move on to the texture and the consistency. Now, admittedly, I have had a Krispy Kreme donut before. And I think these particular ones are better when you get them warm. And they are just the most buttery smooth things you'll ever sink your teeth into when you get them like that. Unfortunately though, this one has been imported, so it's had a chance to not be so buttery. I want to judge it by the way you would feel about it if you got it this way. So a little bit of the texture is not so soft anymore. I wouldn't say that it's hard, it's just not so soft. Definitely not as soft as the first one. So it kind of loses points for that, unfortunately. For texture and consistency, I'm gonna have to give it a nay as well. Taste. The glaze on this thing is like pure sugar, in my opinion. The cake as well is a little on the sweeter side. So you get kind of a double whammy of sweetness in this Krispy Kreme donut. That ain't a bad thing. It's really delicious. And without a doubt, that category gets it a yay. And I think taste is the most important thing for people anyway, so there you have it. Moving on to the other German-based donut. This is the one from the bakery. Presentation, I think they did a good job on the design, but in comparison to the other donuts, which are a little more symmetrical, and the 2 other ones that the design is a little more spread evenly, this one looks a little rushed, looks a little quickie. Looks like it's a quickie thing, and it might be. I know they don't worry about presentation too much over here, because if you ever tried to go to a German bakery in the summertime, you're probably sharing your donuts with bees. The middle to bottom looks like it's fallen out and it's a little wide, so it just kind of takes away from the appetizing effect of the actual donut. Of course, that has nothing to do with the texture or the taste, so I'll give that a nay, just because the presentation is different than the other 3. In this comparison, it gets a nay. Let's move on to the texture. Wow, I can already see that I'm not gonna like it. It looks flaky like a croissant. Yeah, no, I don't like the texture on that one at all. For some reason, they decided to use a flakier dough, and that is not working at all. That don't sit right with my tongue. What else can I say about it? I don't like that consistency. As far as the taste goes, it's like it's a little bready. I don't think I can get this donut more than once. Just tastes like bread with sugar on top. Presentation, nay. Texture, nay. Taste, nay. I don't make it, I'm just telling you what it's like for me. Let's get this over with and get on to the last one. This is the Dunkin, and presentation for this, I think, is perfect. It's not too big, it's not too small, The design is nice and spread evenly. It's all symmetrical. Doesn't look like it's loaded with frosting, kind of like that one is. I think this is a yay for presentation, hands down. This cake has kind of a yellower hue to it than the rest of them. I didn't notice that with any of the other ones, but here we go. Big surprise. So the texture is not even as soft. It seems to be a little more thick breaded. I don't think I like that as much. Unfortunately for that one, the texture is gonna have to be a nay for that, but tastes delicious. Texture throws me off, but that is really, really good. And there you got it. Here's the end result of everything. Feel free to go out there and try these donuts on your own and see how they taste for you. You just might fall in love with one of the ones I didn't like, because like I said, this is just how they taste for me, and I ain't trying to tell you what tastes good and what doesn't taste good. I just needed to do a comparison of these donuts. So I'm gonna wrap these back up, get them in here ready for my kids when they get home so they can tear these up. I'm done with this video. I thank you guys for watching. German store-bought, German bakery, Krispy Kreme, Dunkin' Donuts. I'm done with this video. Donut versus donut. Peace.